Sure.
Bring it back to the office. All right, we'll be in touch. All right, we'll be around.
Have a seat, ladies and gentlemen, please.
I'm seated. Good.
Yeah, I was late. How do you plan and you stuff out?
All right. Watch the juice. All right, please have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we feeling this morning?
Fired up.
You guys fired up?
Fired up.
How fired up?
Woo!
All right. Stand up then. Come on. Let's go. Let's do this. Put your stuff down because this is going to get crazy for a second. All right. Doesn't matter how young or old young you are. We're going to run in place for a minute. Let's go. Come on. Get the blood flowing. Get those synovial fluids going through your body. Come on now. All right. What does Tony Robbins do? Let's go. Joe. Come on, baby. Woo! All right, all right, all right. Hands down. All right. Don't sit down yet. We're going to do a whoosh. We're going to wake up with a whoosh, and we're going to say, Amazing April. Sound good? Here we go. Whoa! Whoosh! Boom! Amazing April! Boom! All right. Have a seat, please. I'm losing my voice, so bear with me. Yeah. When I do stuff like that, that's, you know. Anyways, again, good morning and thank you for showing up. We really appreciate all of the associates here. We have something awesome called Guess. We have 3, so let's give a round of applause for that. Awesome. Obviously, the most important thing in our business is bringing people to the mission, to the crusade, to kind of find out what we do and how we do it and how they can benefit and have an opportunity for themselves as well. And so having guests and building a business is a great thing for not just ourselves, but also for them. So we have 3 guests today, and if I call your name, please stand up. We have Carlos Cojulin. Yeah. Woo! Mr. David Schuster. And Kelly. All right. Kelly stepped out for a second. So we got, awesome. One apiece. That's awesome. So, in the last 7 days, how many people have gone out in the field, sat kneecap to kneecap, and or sat with a client, presented them the opportunity or client portion, and or collected a check? Please stand up. Awesome. Good stuff. Let's give a round of applause. All right. Joyce.
Yes. What about it?
How many? Appointments or checks?
Oh, no, I had sit-downs with my Dave.
Training.
Yeah, training.
Dave Schuster.
Right.
Awesome. Dave, what do we got?
We had 3.
3?
In one day.
All right, awesome.
Wow.
That's how we do it. Mr. Dave Schuster.
3 first, 1 KDP, 2 KTPs, one-on-one, and future business.
3? Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Miss Erica.
I had 4 KTPs and 3 second appointments for next week.
First, 4 appointments and 3 second appointments. Woo, that's an a month in the business. Come on, good. You got to catch up to that a little bit. Mr. Johnny Picasso.
Hey, can I have Josh stand up?
Josh, stand on up, buddy.
He had 2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right. One for him and one for his wife, right? 2 and 5. Woo! Yeah. Lamb.
I had 10 first appointments.
10 first. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Woo! Anybody else? Andy, you got anything?
Yes.
Jump on up, baby. I know.
I forgot how many we went to, but we closed 3 now.
All right, close 3. All right, awesome. Same thing, close 3. Awesome. Thank you, appreciate that. And in the last 7 days, how many people, this is important, how many people have brought on a new business partner here in April? Please stand up. All right, all right. Give me a round of applause. All right, so Fred, 1?
1.
Awesome. All right. Michael, 1? All right, awesome. Good stuff. All right. Awesome, man. That's the name of the game, baby. Huh? You gonna get another one this week?
Yes.
Imagine if you guys went out. Imagine if you guys went out and got one business partner every week.
Yeah.
How would your business blow up? Oh my gosh, right? You want to hear something crazy? I don't even care. I'm gonna tell the secret. You know what, Mike? I'm gonna tell the secret. I was sitting here in my office with Michael yesterday, right? Since I didn't do it with Crusade, we'll do this. I'm sitting out there and I'm looking through the glass and I'm picking people out of the parking lot, right? I wasn't gonna tell my secret, but why not, right? And I brought up several people up here and did interviews back to back, right, Michael?
Yeah.
I picked them out of the parking lot. I met them downstairs in the elevator and pulled them up like that yesterday. Boom, boom, boom. If I can do it, why can't you? Find a method, find a way, and make it happen. Sound good? Awesome. All right. All right. Good. All right. In the last 7 days, how many people have sat and started their licensing, their 52 hours, and or got licensed? Please stand up. Who's in licensing right now? Who's about to take their exam or scheduling an exam?
Yeah.
That's you, Dave.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe I need to reword that. All right. There we go. All right. Awesome. Let's give him a round of applause. All right. Started your licensing. When are you taking your exam?
Hopefully this Friday.
No, hopefully. Just give me a date.
Upcoming Friday.
Upcoming Friday. All right. We don't hope, we don't try, we do, and we make it happen. Erica, your turn. You know that. You're a Marine. Friday. All right. All right. Joyce.
Yeah, I just started the lessons and all that. I think my goal will be in a couple weeks too.
Okay. All right. All right. Stephanie.
Wednesday.
Tell me. You got it? You gonna pass, right?
Yes.
Boom. All right. Dave, you gonna pass? Friday. All right. Awesome. Awesome. This is awesome. Getting people licensed, and who wants to make money here? Raise your hand. All right. Say, I want to make money.
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 I want to help families.
I want to make money.
And I want to make more money.
I want to make more
All
money.
right. Awesome. Give yourself a round of applause. My God. Woo! All right. Do we have any special recognition right now? Okay. Awesome. We're going to have some in a few weeks, I think. Several licensed agents popping out, right? That's going to be a big deal. All right. So we have some awesome training today, conducted by no other than our senior marketing director, Mr. Lam Zhang. Woo-hoo! Oh! All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Looking forward to hearing it.
Good.
Thank you. Awesome.
Did Tim do a good job? Is that full of energy?
Yeah.
Right, my team knows, right? We always talk about energy. The person with the most energy in the room always wins. All right, so that's why Tim's doing so well right now, right? So getting on board to his next promotion. I'm sorry. No, because I just want to show the board, because sometimes it's difficult to see, you know. So when you're right, so I want to show the board. Rather than seeing my face, right? So I think the board's a little bit more important. If they want to see my face, they can just go to my profile, right? Now, we have an awesome class today, and I know we do a lot of the product stuff on the Saturdays, so sometimes we want to, mix it in with a few system training. So today it's going to be really good, and especially for people who, still a little bit new to it's okay. But I also feel that a lot of veterans, they don't really know the full extent of what we do and the processes behind that. So today is going to be a great class on the system side. And so I'm going to start with this. I want to start with what we do, because in terms of the product side, okay? Because a lot of people are still confused. a lot of people still feel that the only thing we do is insurance, and we actually have a lot more than that, right? So I'm gonna start listing some of the types of services and products that we do, because you guys need to know this. You know, this is why we're so important. I had a KTP out with Joyce. Remember Joyce? Like, we sat down with an investment advisor, right? He's an investment advisor rep and all that, and you know, one of the things I can say to him is like, hey, I can do exactly what you do too. Right? I can do exactly what you do too, and for my clients, but even a little bit more, because he has to only represent his own company, right? He can only represent his own company. I kept telling him that I'm independent. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. You know, so literally, what he can do is he can be a fund manager for a client, right? Well, guess what? I have an access to multiple fund managers, so therefore they and now that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. So you guys are equipped with this information, so you know exactly what we can, what we cannot do, and so I want to share that with you and what licenses you got. So when you're brand new, what license do we recommend for you guys? That's what we talked about, right? Life and health. But why do we recommend that? Mainly because of this. Do you know that back in the day, you know, 20 or 15 years ago, WFG, the recommendation to get started was securities license in life and health, right? Why is that? Because the best part about our company is that, do we have to sell one particular product?
No.
We don't. That's the best part about our company. Do you think that the hottest product today will still be the hottest product in 20, 30 years?
No.
Maybe, maybe not. Because 20 years ago, the hottest product was different.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you guys? Yes. And so the great part about our company is, you know, when the products change, we're not doomed. Like, how many of you guys have seen companies change and the product gets doomed? Okay,
yeah.
Can you guys name me some? Like back in the day, in the 80s, there were some products out there that nowadays don't exist. Like what?
Kodak film.
Kodak film. How about that, right? So how about cassette tapes, CDs? Okay. So if you're in a business that sells CDs, you're doomed. But if you're in the music business and you continue to change along with what's the hottest thing, right? So when it goes from cassette to CDs to MP3s to now like streaming on your phone, then you're good to go. So you'll see a lot of companies go out of business because they're product reliant. So remember that. That is a key for us. We're not product reliant, okay? Because we have changing products. And I'm going to give you some examples of that too. There was an interesting, a lot of companies went out of business recently, right? Because they're more product driven, product specific, that they can't adapt to it, right? One of them was, write it down, one of them was Blockbuster Video. Okay. Blockbuster Video. You guys all heard of Blockbuster Video, yes? Okay, some of you are young. Even you've heard of Blockbuster Video, yes, right? I'm looking at young folks. So, Blockbuster Video. And guess what? The first phase that took over Blockbuster Video, you guys heard of something called Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, do you agree that that, in part, led to the demise of Blockbuster Video?
Yeah.
Did you know that Netflix offered to buy out Blockbuster Video? I forgot for how much, probably about 50 million.
Yeah, I know.
And what did Blockbuster do? They refused. High ego, say, you know what, like, we're good to go, right? We don't need your money, let's compete. And guess what, they got creamed, right? So that's an example of an industry that is product driven, that actually, right, their product is DVDs and rentals and cassette, but this is product driven, right? Not the industry. The actual industry is entertainment, but the product is DVDs and all that, right? So this is this not still the entertainment industry? But they're using a different medium. Does that make sense? So they wanted Blockbuster Video to switch mediums, and they just said, no, for whatever reason, we don't see it, right? So that's one industry that failed. Now let me share with you that one that did not fail, right? So for example, Garmin. I think it's Garmin. What did Garmin used to do? GPS, okay? But what happened with GPS today?
On the phone.
On your phone, built into your cars, right? So Garmin,
Fishing.
I'm sorry?
Oh, they do make fishing ones too and everything.
Oh, fishing line, yeah.
Commercial ones.
Garmin actually switched to the changing times. They kind of, what they adapted to are, what do you call it? Like electronic wearables.
Smartwatch, yeah.
Smartwatches and all that. So very similar to like like the health monitor,
Fitbit.
things like Fitbit and things people wear, right? Like so I have like this. So guess what? They actually increase in revenue. They stayed alive. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But they had to change their product to switch over. They had to change themselves. See, we're a company that doesn't have products, right? WFG itself, do we have products? No. WFG itself is not a product company. WFG is a marketing company. They actually work with companies that have products. Does that make sense? So WFG itself, no products. That's our strength. Because what happens is, around how many companies do we represent? Over how many?
100.
Over 100 company plus. So guess what? When the times change, when the products change and evolve, we don't become outdated. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because we can just pick up another company. We can drop the old companies and pick up the new companies. That is why we're going to sustain for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's why you can build this business that can last for generations to come, right? And that's the beauty of it. You know, even when WFG just started a long time ago, I believe we sold security systems too. Like not securities license, like security systems for like your house. Is that crazy?
I'm on
Yeah.
one of those.
I
A
didn't
while
know that.
ago, we had mortgage products,
Yeah.
right? And then the mortgage industry kind of up and down and all that. So we want to adapt to the industry. So WFG itself is not a product-driven company. That's our strength. That's our strength, is that we can adapt to things that change, right? Imagine if you're a company that can adapt to things that will change in the future, you're good to go. Garmin had to adapt, but they had to actually switch their products. Blockburst did not adapt, and we're a company that can easily adapt because we don't have products. We have 100 companies with products. I'm going to give you an example of what happened too. You know, like when we started seeing changes and all that, we actually went ahead and start finding newer products. So let me share with you a little bit about some of the things that we have, right? So first and foremost, if you have your life license, life and health, right? So we start with life and health. Okay, obviously you can do life products, right? So insurance products. So let's start with life insurance. Well, guess what? There are different types of life insurance. This class is not teaching you about the different products. This class is teaching you that what variety we have, right? So within life insurance, what types do you guys know?
Term.
Term. Do we have term?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You know what's also cool? We also have term with living benefits, right? Living benefits. Somebody asked me on Wednesday, what are living benefits, right? Life insurance, the product itself, is a death benefit because it pays out on what? Death. How about living benefit? It pays out when you are alive. So can you imagine a traditional term is you can only get money when you die. In this term, you can have a term which is lower cost, but you can have term with living benefits that you can use while you're alive.
Right.
Is that pretty cool? And we got it. That's not all companies have that. But because we have 100 companies, we went out and we grabbed some of these products, right? You guys heard of, we don't sell whole life because it's an outdated product, but can we do whole life?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. So companies are, hey, we do whole life. Guess what? We can do whole life as well. Can we do universal life?
Yes.
We can do universal life. Can we do variable?
Of course.
Variable was the #1 product 20 years ago because stock market was great, mutual funds were awesome. That was the #1 product before. Variable, universal life. And now the hottest product is what? Index,
Universal.
universal life, right? So a lot of different variations, right, on insurances, okay? And then now, well, guess what? On the health side, you can do insurances, like for example, the indexed universal life with long-term care, right? Long-term care is a big deal. Wait, that's on the health side with the health license.
Huge.
Can we do standalone long-term care?
Of course.
Yes.
We can do standalone long-term care. And now they have products where it's insurance-linked long-term care. So mainly long-term care with insurance, okay? So a little bit different than IUL, but long-term care with insurance. There is so much variety of things that we can do just with your life and health license, right? Even when we use Index Universal Life right here, it's an alternative for people to save for college funds. I don't know if you guys, but there are a lot of companies out there that are traditional college fund only. Like within one building, one office like this, they're branded as we only sell college products. Does that make sense? College funds products. And nowadays, guess what? They have the 529s, they have other stuff. But guess what? One of the number one products is
Index Universal.
Index Universal Life. So even firms out there that traditionally do college funds, they also are utilizing Index Universal Life because of all the benefits that you can get from it. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Right? So what they're doing out there, we can do here too. So imagine with just your life account, this is only part of what we can do. Right? I'm going to erase this side of it so we can get more of the products up here. All right. And even with the life and health now, you can do a lot of the annuity side, right? So there are fixed annuities, fixed indexed annuities, so it's pretty cool. This is very similar to a pension plan. Okay. Not only that, guess what? I know a lot of my guys, and I know Ray is. Can you do group plans?
Yes.
There you go. So on this insurance side, you can also do group plans for companies. Within the UL side, well, guess what? The Index Universal Life. Can you do executive bonus plans for business owners?
Yep.
Man, there's so much.
Yeah.
Key person insurance. Okay. Buy-sell agreements. So what these are more, a little bit more business planning type of products. Okay. We have products that actually cater to business owners. Okay. A lot of big giant companies out there. There's something out there that you guys can look up. It's called 10K 10Qs. Okay, so if you look at 10K 10Q statement, these are quarterly and annual reports that a lot of the bigger firms have to disclose to the public. They have to share with their shareholders, and these are publicly traded companies, that they want to share what they invest in, their earnings, like how well they're doing, right? So you got anyone in accounting, right? Like accountants, CPAs, you kind of heard of this before. Some of you guys work in that area where you have to disclose your company like online. You have access to that online. Mm-hmm. You have like people have access to the public information, right? Guess what? A lot of them, you'll see the business planners behind the scene. They're using life insurance for that. So executive bonus plans, key people insurance, right? Buy-sell agreements. Today is not a product class, but you got to know that we can do a lot of business planning as well. So if you know business owners out there, a lot of them are looking for ways to basically leverage their money so that they can get more deductibles and give more benefits to the clients. Oh, not clients, employees, right?
Right.
So if you're a business, you can give more benefits to the employees, and you can get more deductions on your end for tax purposes, right? With your money that you're going to use to pay taxes anyway, right? Is that something that they might be open to?
Yes.
Absolutely, right? So there's a lot of these business planning. So just so you know, a lot of people, like they hear about our company, they go, oh, you can only sell life insurance. How depressing does that sound? Right? You can only sell life insurance. How many people out there would be so open if they can only sell life insurance? Raise your hand. Right? Like, how many people do you know would be so fired up? Oh, you can only sell life insurance, right? Life insurance is important, okay? I understand that. But look at the variety of things that we can do. Look at all the businesses and the college planning and the pension plans, all of these things that we can do for people out there just with that license to start off with.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we also have our health license. A lot of people ask, do we sell health insurance and all? We don't, because it's a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of work and maintenance, and we want to do more on the financial side, right? The health side is important, but we don't do too much of that. So the health side, imagine every single day your client's calling you, hey, can you go over my benefits again? I'm gonna go see the doctor. What's my copay, right? Like, how many of you guys have those questions for your health person, right? I do, right? Like, what's my copay? What's my payment? What am I covered for, right? I need to go urgent care. What's covered, right? So we don't do a lot of health, right? But on the PNC side, okay, we can do some PNC's property and casualty, right? We don't have that license. But we actually can do a lot of these things by referral. We can actually do things like automobile, right? Automobile, so auto insurance. And I don't know, I don't do too much of this, but we actually have that within our system on MyWFG that you can look up, and then you can actually get paid just a small amount by helping people to reduce some of this stuff, right? So you know how like Progressive is, who has that motto? Is it Progressive or Geico that 15 minutes can save you?
Geico.
Geico. Yeah. Yes.
Another thing is with this program though, you don't actually have to have your license to do that.
That's right. That's what I'm going to say, right? So traditionally, this is with property and casualty, right? But we do it without a license, okay? And you can still get paid for these ones. So I don't focus too much on this, but just know that this is available within the suite of WFG. Does that make sense? It's available. So there's auto. What else? Does anybody use this? Because I don't do too much of this. Okay, you use a little bit of it. So what else is available? What?
They have auto,
Homeowners. Okay, so hold on.
flood insurance, fire insurance.
Homeowners, flood, fire,
Earthquake.
earthquake. They have it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the stuff that we need in California.
Okay, there you go. So, anything else I'm missing? Business insurance too. Is that business insurance? Some of you guys, did you know that we have this? So there's a lot of stuff that we have. So hey, you help a few friends save on auto insurance. You can actually just run a quote to see if like you can reduce the auto insurance, right? Your people benefit from it, and then they save money, and then you can make money too, right? But for me, I focus more on so the best part about this business is you can run it any way you want. You can run it any way you want. For me, like this stuff here is great, right? And my guys can do it if you want. I can't teach you this because I don't deal with this and handle too much of this, right? But you can absolutely do this, right? So you can do that as well. Also, so that's part of our referral program. So this is one where it's a referral program that you can get paid on. Okay. There's also a referral program that we can get paid on estate planning as well. So on estate planning, are done by lawyers. Okay, so they'll hook your clients up with a lawyer. You just enter the information. There's a referral program that you can get paid on as well. Man, so this is somebody who's brand new or with life and health. Is that a lot of stuff?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we ready to go home? We're done, right? That's so much stuff here, right? So you guys got it? Take a
I
picture.
gotta go do some work.
You gotta get to work, right? This is on the life and health side. That's a lot of stuff you guys can do. So that's why I'm worried about securities license. Don't even worry about securities license. Know how to run the business, know how to earn money and grow the business, know how to do all of these things. And guess what? At the end of the day, here's my recommendation. When you're close to SMD, when you're SMD or when you know how to make money, then you start looking at securities license. Does that make sense? Hey, do whatever you want to do, but I want you to run a profitable business, okay? Because there's a lot more maintenance going on. There's a lot of higher E&O. There's a lot of things that you have to do with securities, okay? We also, I know our company has no quota on the life and health side, right? On the securities, you have to have a minimum quota. It's not difficult, but there is a minimum quota per year. It's something like 5,000 points for the entire year. But there is some minimum quota on the security side. So we want you to already have a running, stable business where it's not even a big deal when you start doing that, okay? So you guys got it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna erase it. So that's on the life and health side. And what I want to do is I want to get into what you guys can do
Good lawyer.
when you get to the security side. Okay, so the reason being, even though right now you're not on the security side, but people are going to ask about what we can do as a whole, then you can say, of course we can do that. Does that make sense? So you guys have to know what else we can do. So on the security side, the easier ones to pass are the Series 6 and so Series 6 and 63. Okay. One license is a variable lines license. One license is a more like a law, more like a compliance and law license, right? But you need both of them. Okay. When you have both of this one, you're going to be called a registered representative. And that's what people equate traditionally with a financial advisor. So a lot of people say, oh, you know, we are a financial advisor and all that with a life and health license. Technically, with a life and health license, you're considered a life and health agent, okay? But since we're in the financial industry, you could say financial professional. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with a life and health license, don't say that you're a financial advisor.
No.
You can say financial professional.
Right.
You guys got it?
Yeah.
Don't start misleading people out there, okay? Not advisor until you get what license? 6 and 63, okay? Now, some of the main products that you can do here, you can do mutual funds. You can do variable universal life. I know I wrote it over there, but this is where you can sell it. That's a type of insurance. You can do variable annuities. And our company just keeps on getting better and better. You can actually do group, like it's kind of like a small business 401k plan. Just for small business, like really small. Like maybe like 5, 10, 50 employees. So traditionally, you need another license for this. But our company went out there and did one where even with the 6 and 63, you can do this with specific products. They want to make it easy for you, right? So those are some pretty cool stuff, right? Mutual funds, okay? Now, Series 65, this is where you are technically called an investment advisor representative. Just so you guys, an investment advisor itself refers to a company or the overall picture. An investment advisor rep refers to a person, just so you know. Okay, so investment advisor refers to more like the company that has the representatives. The investment advisor rep, IAR, refers to the individual. Okay, so when you start hearing terminology and all that, right, just want you guys to be aware of it. Okay, investment advisor rep, IAR. With this one, this is traditionally what you need to do 401k plans. Basically any retirement plans, right? There's a lot of different retirement plans for companies. Or individual too, but so you guys heard of like SEP IRA and right? SEP IRAs and all that, right? You can set up like an actual group plan with this, okay? Another thing that you can do is we are independent. We have access to fund managers and money managers, right? So here's the difference. Fund managers and money managers. And this is very important for you guys to understand, you know, when you're comparing us with traditional and all that, right? Fund managers and money managers, or they're called also wealth managers. Okay, let me write here, wealth managers. These guys are very traditional, okay? Now, here is where fund managers, money managers, and wealth managers get in trouble, okay? So I'm going to use layman's term for you guys today. I'm going to use very simplistic terms, okay? Within fund managers, money managers, and wealth managers, every single one has to have some type of philosophy, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like, what's two schools of philosophy that are on opposite ends? Like not just in money, but just in general, because I'm trying to think of an analogy.
Liberal, conservative.
I'm sorry?
Liberal and conservative.
Oh, there you go, there you go. Can you be like a liberal Democrat and a conservative Republican at the same time? Because the views kind of butt heads, right? Either you're pro this or you're anti this. I'm not going to talk about politics today, but you know what I mean, right? You can't, you can't be like, hey, I'm pro-life and I'm also against, like this at the same time. It's like, how can you be in the middle, right? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
I know I'm fumbling a little bit, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? There's different schools of thoughts. Within fund managers, money managers, and wealth managers, it's the same thing, okay? In these particular school of thoughts, the way that they have philosophies, some will actually do better in different markets. So do you agree with me that the market can go in different directions? There's a market that can basically be a little bit stable and go up, right? There's a stable market. There's a up and down market. Yes, you guys agree? Like those are different types of markets, right?
Yes.
And there's unpredictable markets. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay. Well, I'm giving you guys the layman's term, okay? You guys agree? You guys have seen the stock market, right, with money, okay?
Yes.
So I'm not going to go into details. I'm not going to go into terminology. But do you agree that stock market can do any of these three, for example,
Yeah.
and anywhere in
Yes.
between?
Yeah.
For fund managers, money managers, and wealth managers, each specific manager has a philosophy that will be better in one of these market conditions. So for example, this one might be with the philosophy that one fund manager have, this might be the best one, right? Like when this market goes like this fund manager wins. But when the market goes like this fund manager loses. Does that make sense? Now we have another fund manager that even though this looks rocky, but they perform really well compared to these two under this condition. And then there's another one where it's unpredictable, where this type of philosophy actually performs better compared to this too. Now, here's the problem for you guys, right? How's the market going to perform in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years? So a fund manager might get lucky where their philosophy is the predominant one that's doing really well, right? The one that's doing really well. But what if they don't have the best times, right? What if they're not in the right market condition? Then their philosophy will actually suffer, right? But they're not going to change philosophy. That's who they are, because if they start changing, it's kind of like buying high and selling low, right? You're jumping out of your philosophy at a time when you should be sticking with your philosophy. Does that make sense? So therefore, if you go to a fund manager, maybe you got lucky and your account's performing because maybe it's around the timing where their philosophy works very well. What can we do in our company? So this is the part where we're different than them. Most traditional companies, they only represent who? Themselves. So therefore, they only have one philosophy. Does that make sense to you guys?
Right.
Okay. They can only represent themselves. They have one philosophy. Here, we're independent. So what I do is I actually put together an all-star team of these fund managers. So for example, I would with my clients, I can put an all-star team where I can have 40% here, 20% here, 20% here, depending upon how the market's doing. Right? That's one or two companies. That's one company. That's one company. Right? We're independent, so I have access to all these guys who can only represent one philosophy. Right? Most of these advisors out there, when they work with you like that, right, a fund manager, right, like that means that they only represent one philosophy. It might be doing good at a specific time, but it might not be good in a different time, right? And they're always going to boast when they're doing good at their good times. But what we do that's different is we don't represent just one fund manager. We have an all-star team that we can put together, and when when this philosophy falls out, I can reduce that down to 10%. I can do 50 and I can do 40. Does that make sense? So I have an all-star team. Okay? Most companies out there is that they only have one thing they can do. We have access to multiple companies, so I pick and choose an all-star team so that when the prevalent market is doing whatever it's doing, then I put more weight in those companies for my clients' money. Does that make sense? So you guys need to know this because a lot of these companies out there are independent. They can only do one philosophy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want you to understand why we're different than the traditional wealth managers out there. Is that we're not just one wealth manager, we have access to a variety of wealth managers. We put an all-star team together. So this is for your wealthy clients. Question?
You said the fund managers are independent?
We're independent.
That's, I think, yeah, I heard you say that they are independent. Just a correction.
We're independent. We have access to them. They themselves can be independent in the sense that they own their own business, they run their own business, right?
Right.
But they're still one company.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Got it.
So for example, like Joyce and I met with a wealth manager, right? But they only have one philosophy. It just is what it is. Either you're right, like liberal, Republican. You can't do two at the same time because you invest differently on different sides. So it's not like you can jump ship, right? One day I invest like this, then all of a sudden I change my mind and invest like this. Because a philosophy is a philosophy. So each company will have a prevalent philosophy, right? So which is fine. They're good for whatever market conditions that they do. But guess what? How about are they good in all market conditions? No. The answer is no. Okay? Because there will be a different philosophy that works better in a different market condition than yours. So what we do again is that we're independent, meaning I don't represent just one of those fund managers, right? Like I am not. Our company itself is not. We don't have products, right? So we're not the fund manager itself. WFG and Transamerica, we're not the fund manager. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I can put together an all-star team of these we create access to these fund managers where I'm going to put you with this guy, and this guy. So I want you to understand that. And any questions on this? Yes, sir.
So as IAR, what you're managing your clients' portfolios.
Correct.
How often do you review like their funds and maybe switch it up if need be?
Yeah, so that's a good question because I had the same question when I first started. So for me, I always review it like every month. I always take a look at my guys' accounts, but I'm not the guy who's quick to make changes because you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you're quick to make changes. So in terms of philosophy-wise here, probably make a change depending on here. Combines like kind of like it's saying that hey, you know, I have a business, you have a business, you have a business, but instead of treating us individually, they're just combining. Like I have 20 guys, you got 30 guys, you got 50 guys, you got 60 guys, all of us in the room together. We have our own business, we have our own plans, independent of one another, but they're just adding up the total amount of assets. Okay, now we're going to give you guys a group discount. It's kind of like when you go to the grocery store and then there's like buy 5 for $10,
Yes.
right? But if you buy 1, it's like $4. You know what I mean, right? And then, but I don't need all 10. Okay, so you buy one, you buy one, you buy one, and we kind of pull together, and then we all save money. It's kind of like that. So does that make sense? Because I grocery shop, so I mean, I think that makes sense. But you know, like those ridiculous deals where it's like
Yes.
5 for $10, but you have to buy 5,
Nah.
and there's like 1 for like $3. You're like, why would I buy 1, right? But I don't need 5.
Yes.
Like a 6-pack versus 1.
Yeah.
You have to buy the 6-pack.
But you just have to buy the giant package.
Right.
So instead, like, hey, let's just team up together. You ask like another grocery, hey, do you need this? Hey, you know what? You buy 2, I buy 3, and again, we'll pay each other and all that, right? So I don't know if that makes sense, right? So I'm trying to make sense. I'm trying to make sense, right?
Good enough.
So that's what this plan is. That's
you.
what this small business plan is. Like all the small business owned together. You have a question?
IRAs falls under what securities?
IRA itself is how you get taxed. It's not a product. So you can actually do IRAs in the fixed index annuities, in the fixed annuities. So that is how you get taxed is separate from the product.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So Roth IRA, same thing. You guys can actually do an IRA in the fixed index annuities. You guys can actually do a Roth IRA in the fixed index annuities as well.
But you said something about Series 65 for SEP IRA.
Yeah, I understand. You can also do a SEP IRA in the thing too, but this is a traditional SEP IRA, the one where you set it up for the business and Because those ones you don't do the fixed index annuities for. Okay, so I'm glad you caught that. Man, he's a sharp guy, right? So go ahead.
So if you have to have a client to move their 401k to IRA,
Yep.
so do we need the security license?
No, not as of right now. Maybe in the next couple of years, right? So if you guys have a client who has a 401k and you want to move them over to an IRA,
Yes.
right? You can do an IRA in a fixed index annuity. Where does fixed index annuity fall again? Life and health.
Life and health.
Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
So now you guys are getting the picture, okay? Remember, it's independent of how it gets taxed, okay? IRA, Roth IRA, SEP IRA controls how it gets taxed. This is the actual product of how the money grows. Remember, 3 ways money grows, 3 ways that you can get taxed, okay? Product side is how money grows. Product side is how money grows, not how money is taxed. How money is taxed can fall under both categories. Okay, so everything that we talk about here, you can do a mutual fund in a 401 and IRA, right? But you can, right? So, but in a IRA, you can do a mutual fund in an IRA, yes. But you can also do a fixed index annuity in an IRA. Okay, so everything that you wrote on the previous page can be taxed in multiple ways. You guys got it? That's a great question. You guys need to know that. Yes.
One quick question on the IAR. If you're a representative, are you making residual commissions when you?
Great question. Yeah, so that's the compensation class. So how these products get you get paid on is you get paid a percentage per year.
Okay.
So like around 1%, around 1% per year, and they divide it into quarters. So if they divide it into quarters, you're getting paid like 0.25 per quarter.
All right.
Okay. So basically, you can actually create income that's a little bit more stable than the commission based. This is called fee based. Okay, so that's what it's called, fee based. 65 is where you get into fee based. 60 to 63 is more commission based, kind of similar to life and health. Commission based. Except for this one here, which is kind of like a hybrid, right? That one is also fee based. Okay, it's a hybrid. Even though you have your 60 to 63, you can also get fee based on this one. But typically, securities is commission based. That's why I love our company. They do a lot of things just to help you guys out. It's pretty cool. So you're going to get whatever the amount of money is in all the accounts, you're getting a percentage per year. That's why we have that famous a friend of ours, Tim Mulaney, Southwest Airlines, right? He has one account with Southwest Airlines. He gets a quarterly paycheck just for that. Maybe about 60 to 100,000 per quarter, and he's had that account for like 15 years. Okay, from one account, one client, but the client happens to be Southwest Airlines. Okay, so if you know, like you get into that market, you get into connection. Guess what? We have that at our business too. Is that pretty cool? So there's a lot of things that you guys just kind of know the overall general, but when you know more, like, we can do that. Yes. Okay, so just know the basic today so that when people are approaching you and talking to you, oh, Primerica, this and that. Well, guess what? Primerica only sell term insurance and maybe sell mutual fund. That's it. Mainly, that's what they do, right? And by the way, they're selling their own company, so it's very expensive. For example, this will allow you guys to kind of fight back and know why we're different than these other companies. Because we don't represent a product. Primerica represents a product. And when the product gets outdated, they get left in the dust. But they're still pushing it into families out there. So when you guys have people who are, oh, Primerica is so good, so awesome, and all that, well, guess what? Now you know why we kicked their butt like 50 times over. Does that make sense? Because this one not only allows us to be more profitable, but it's also better for the families, right? If you're pushing products all the time, is it always the best fit for families? No. But that's what they're doing. So that's an example. There's a lot of other companies that do or copy and all that, but this is why we kick butt. A lot of the copycats, they can't do this. A lot of the copycats, they can't do this. The PHP copycats and the PFA copycats, guess what? They can't do this, right? This is a lot of really cool stuff that we can do that we have to build up these relationships with, right? I'm not even done yet, because you guys have questions, right? Remember I told you that we adapt to the changing times? Okay. A few years ago, there were studies that we actually there's a trend for robo-advising or robo-advisors. What are robo-advisors? Robo-advisors are more when it's technology-driven, right, to run your financials instead of a physical live person who maybe we trade with emotion. This takes the emotion out of trading because sometimes emotionally we make bad decisions as well. Even advisors make bad decisions because either they're scared and they let the emotions get the best of them. They might make a mistake in your account. Robo-advisors eliminates that. They use algorithms. It's actually designed by financial advisors. And behind the scene, we also, there are people who take a look to see what they're doing. But there's a trend for that because people want simplicity. You know, the millennials right now, right? Robo-advising is where you can do a lot on your cell phone, right? You can, you don't have to sit down with an advisor, and you can do robo-advising. And literally, it's like, oh, that's pretty easy. Hey, here's my account. Click, 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 and done, right? You trade your account on your phone. How many of you guys have heard of that before, right? Robo-advising. So a few years ago, our platform, WFG Transamerica, well, more Transamerica because it's on the security side, right? They already studied it. They knew that this is going to be a hot product. So guess what we did? We got it. So we got this product, and it's been doing very hot for us. So when we got this product, it actually allowed our agents to actually work with families and other on this product and sell it to clients out there. They go, oh, I heard about this, robo-advising. We got it, right? And it uses mainly ETFs, but so it mainly uses ETFs, but that's a more detailed one, right? Vanguard funds and all that. You guys heard of Vanguard funds?
Yes.
So we use Vanguard funds, ETFs within robo-advising. So we got it as well. There's a lot of really cool stuff that we can do. Now, guess what other companies are worried about nowadays? Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab, all those companies, the number one complaint, okay, write this down so you guys know, right? Number one complaint that they have right now is their clients are transitioning into robo-advisors. Right? When you talk to these people who are in there, oh my goodness, I don't know why, my clients right now, they're moving my funds out into this robo-advising platform. Right? They're using this and using that. Right? Man, I just lost half. I hear this from the traditional guys. Right? Man, I'm losing like 40% of my assets. My clients are moving it out to robo-advisors. They read something in an investment news magazine and they saw it online and they're moving the money out. So they're worried. Traditional guys are worried because if they move the assets out, guess what happens? They get less percentage of the total assets being managed, right? So guess what? One way that we can recruit them is, hey, you know that robo-advising thing that's killing you right now? We can do that here, right? If you can't beat them, join them. Join us. There you go. And you can be like a broker here and recruit a team of people, all your guys in your office, and they do all this robo-advising, right? You override them. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. Can they do that at their job? No, right? Here you own your business. You own your business. You sell your business. You own your business. Over there, you're making the company more profitable, right? You're working for somebody else. The company becomes more profitable. Here, you make yourself more profitable. That's how you can bring them over as well, right? Robo-advising, right? If they're interested, they got to be at least open-minded. They got to be, remember, people got to be hungry to see this opportunity. So if they're kind of mad that, oh my goodness, I'm losing clients and to this robo-advising and all that, right? So now I'm giving you guys more tools to your arsenal, right? So that you can go out there and recruit these guys, bring these people in, the traditional guys too, right? Because our business platform kicks butt. Any questions before I move on to the next topic? You guys good? Okay, is this good for you guys? Am I boring you? No. Okay, good. So use this so that you have the knowledge base of what we can do on the product end. Okay? Our company, do we own products? Does WFG own? No. We have access to a lot of companies that have the products. That's why we have a variety. Okay? Is that cool? All right. Let me erase this. So now that you guys know about all our products, one thing that I think that you guys need to be a lot better on is the system. How do we generate clients? How do we go step by step? And how does that work? How does our business go, right? So you have to be really in tune with the system. Okay, so there you go, system. Our system is actually a very simple, duplicatable system. That's why our business works. That's why if you do the system correctly, you don't have to cold call. How many of you guys want to cold call and telemarket? Raise your hand. You really love it, right? Like you might do it for money, but you really love it. You love bugging people, and okay, good. You're in the right place. If you love it, then you go to traditional. Okay, so we don't do that. We don't do this whole door-to-door knocking and all that. So we have a system that generates business, right? Via referrals, via our matchup system. Like a lot of really cool stuff going on. Okay, here's our system, so you guys know. It always starts with prospecting. Okay. Now prospecting, don't get it confused. Okay. Because there's a lot of variety of prospecting, okay? There's a variety of prospecting. Prospecting can be your hot and warm market, okay? It could be your lukewarm market. It could be a cold market, okay? At the end of the day, just remember that prospecting means this. Names and numbers. That's all it means. Names and numbers. Okay. Question for you guys. If you have a best friend, do you have their name and number? Then you're done. You're done with step one. That's prospecting. That's it. Now, okay. Is that easy? Or is it going out and fishing for numbers easier? Is it, if you already have the number in your phone, is that easy, or going out fishing for numbers? Which one's easier? Your phone? Okay. That's why we recommend brand new people to do what? Use their hot and warm market first, because that's the easiest one. You already have the name and number. You already finished step one, right? So prospecting, right? When you try to get a phone number from somebody you don't know, right? You don't even have the phone number yet. It might be a little bit more difficult, right? But it's okay, we do that too. So prospecting at the end of the day means what? Names and numbers, right? That's it. So let me ask you guys this: if you are going to a restaurant, and you know on the desk there's a whole bunch of advertisement, and one is like a business card, and it has a name and number in there, and you just grab the business card, is that prospecting? Yes. Why? Because I have a name and number.
Name and number.
You guys get it now? Okay. If you're driving down the street and there's a real estate agent sign, new house for sale by Century 21. Real estate agent name, number, you take a picture of that. Is that prospecting? Yes, it is. Because why? Name's a number, right? I'm just telling you that's a little bit harder because you never met them.
Right.
But can we actually contact them? And of course, because I have a name and number. That's what prospecting is, right? But more likely, you get better results where? Here. Because they already know you, they trust you, you have the credibility, right? So that's why we always ask new associates to start here. If not, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to work on cold market. Oh, this business is so hard. Because, right? Because it's cold market. Oh, it's so hard, so difficult, right? Because these people don't even know you. There's no trust and credibility until you build it up. Now, the cool part is you can always convert people from cold to lukewarm to hot as well. You can convert people. So automatically, even if you don't have their name and number, if you convert them to someone you know and get their name and number, right? That's also a better way that you can actually interest people to the next steps. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? This whole prospecting, right? So your phone is the easiest one. Wow, I have like 500 numbers. That's prospecting, right? Put it down on a list so that you can figure out what to do in the next steps. So that's step one. Any questions? Right? This is not a prospecting class. We have different classes on that. This is a general system class. It all starts with prospecting. Okay, I want to show you our system today. You guys are going to be like, wow, that's it? That's it. Number one. So after you have the prospects, what do you do with them?
Close them.
Hopefully you can close them. Right, number two?
Excuse me.
You approach them. Or you contact them, right? So basically this is the invitation phase. When you approach and contact them, when you make a call, do you talk all about the products?
No.
You talk all about like everything that we got, all the good stuff? What's the number one purpose of approach and contact? Invite and make an appointment, right? So invite to make an appointment. That's it. Whether it's a BPM, whether it's a KTP, I don't care what it is. A one-on-one, any FaceTime. Does that make sense? Any time that we get to sit down with them and be able to talk with them. The main purpose, so the problem with a lot of new associates is they don't understand that each step has its own purpose. Don't try to do step 2 and step 1. Some people, when they just got the name and like on the spot, they go, oh, let me just do this right here right away, right? So it's easier if you do it step by step, right? Because if you do this as step 1, you might look very desperate, right? So don't do this. Keep it separate. Hey, this one, just get their name and number. Don't try to invite them yet. Invite them a little bit later, right? Step 2, invite to appointment. Invite to appointment. Okay? That's pretty simple. You make a call, whatever it is, on the phone. My number one thing is when they ask questions, I want to keep it brief, but in my mind, I'm going back to trying to what? Okay? So that's another class, a scripting class that you guys will take, right? But I'm like, hey, you know what? Great question. Here's the short answer. But most of it, you're going to find out when we meet for our appointment, right? That's how you schedule an appointment, right? So, hey, you know what? That's a great question. But at the end of the day, you know what? Like a lot of the stuff we do is visual. You need to see this, right? You need to be here. And we need to set up a time to meet. Make sense?
Yeah.
Is this simple, right? It should be simple. Right? I'm not here to confuse anybody. Step 1, you need names and numbers. Step 2, you invite people. You set an appointment. Step 3 is the presentation. Whatever presentation it is, whether it's the BPM, right? Like some of you guys have invites today, they're in there, right? That's the BPM, right? Like the corporate overview. Whether it's a KTP, kitchen table presentation, whether it's a one-on-one appointment, right? There's a presentation. Presentation. You guys got it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, presentation, you want to close in some form. So there's 6 different types of closes. You want to close in some form, some way or form. You don't want to do a presentation and then that's it, okay? So presentation, maybe you want to close for a sale. Maybe you want to close for a recruit. Maybe you close for a referral, right? Depends on the type of appointments too. A lot of KTPs out there we close for, right, like a referral. Number 4. We get commitments. Sorry? Oh, okay. We get statements, right? So sales, recruits, referrals. Am I missing one? I am. Oh yeah, duh. So second appointment, right? So number 6. If they're not ready for this appointment, you close for a second appointment. Okay, so that's after a presentation. For referrals, right? So sometimes from KTPs, like the people are very scared, so it's very difficult to get some of this. Then you just ask for referrals, and you follow up. That's number 4. I'll show you, right? Sometimes if the KTP, like they already are interested in a product. Oh, I want to hear about long-term care and all that, right? Then you probably close for either a sale or second appointment, for example, right? It depends on what the person says. So if the person coming in says, I want to learn about retirement, well, guess what? You can close for the sale. You can close for referrals. You can close for maybe their statement from a 401k. Or, great, let's have another time to meet again to go over more detail after you do the initial presentation, right? If it's a KTP, right, sometimes you can close for referrals. If they're interested in something, you can close for a second appointment. One-on-one, same thing, maybe you can recruit them. You can recruit. Any of these 6 can do in any of these 3, depending upon what the person indicates. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So make sure you have like at least one of the 6. So far, so good? Okay. Number 4. Follow up. Oh my goodness. Follow up. I was talking to Fred about it, right? Follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. This is huge. That's why we keep a top 25. That's why we track our numbers. That's why we track our business. Because if you forget to follow up on some people, all the work that you put into, they might actually be interested, but they're marinating, right? They're waiting and all that. Somebody else might be there to pick and reap the rewards of all the hard work and effort you put in. either on the recruiting side or on the sales side, right? So let's say you share with them all these products and all that, right, and they're excited, but you never follow up. Someone else can come along and just like, hey, you're interested? Let me do it for you. Oh yeah, my advisor never follow up with me, right? I had a client like that too recently. Like, yeah, I'm interested in retirement. I reached out to my advisor like 10 times. They didn't respond. So
Wow.
I asked for referrals, and one of my clients referred me to them. So there you go. I got it, right? Because they failed to follow up, right? Sometimes follow up can also lead to recruiting as well. Recruiting follow up. For example, like my wife had a KTP 5 years ago. Okay, she had a KTP with David Lin 5 years ago, and just they didn't seem too interested. How many have KTPs that they didn't seem too interested? Okay, you know what? The timing might be off. Does that make sense to you guys? The timing might be off. Maybe they're going through things in life. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're going through different phases and timings in life and all that. The timing might be off. Again, I always tell my guys this: you're going to be hungry at different stages in your life. You're going to be hungry at different stages in your life. Just like throughout the day. In the morning, I'm hungry. But after I eat breakfast, I'm full. Then before lunch, guess what? Hungry again. After lunch, full. Before dinner, hungry. After dinner, full. Right before sleep, sometimes, you know, like you get hungry, midnight snack. Okay, stay away from that. All right? So why do I say that? Why do I say that is because if you don't follow up, maybe you just met somebody when they're really full, but they're about to be hungry, and someone else goes there and picks it up. So Lena had a KTP 5 years ago with a couple, right? She barely knew any people. She started this business, and she had a top 7 because she's an international student, and she doesn't know too much people. Does that make sense? She doesn't have a lot of friends. She has friends now, but back then, her phone didn't have a lot of people, 7 people. How many of you guys relate not having too much people on your phone, right? You can still do this business, right? So one of the 7 that she did a KTP. They sat down, right, honey? And they were not too interested at that time. Your Malaysian couple.
Well, because he was into real estate.
He was into real estate. What else? What else? Yep. Didn't follow up, right? Well, so what were they into? They were real estate, right? They're into real estate. What else? That's it, right? So. Then, hey, we're sold out in real estate. We want to get the real estate business. We didn't follow up. Guess what? A few years later, we go to an office and we sit down. We're like, hey, we know these people. She's like, I know you. Like, oh yeah, you're one of my first KTPs, and now they're SMDs.
Wow.
Well, there you go. So we want you guys to learn how to
Follow up.
because some of the people you sit down with, they could have been SMD on your team. Right? But you never follow up with them. So don't follow up with them every single day. You know what I mean, right? Don't be that nuisance, right? Because follow up with them maybe in a couple of months. Lena had a prospect, that cold market prospect. She met randomly, Filipino guy. She talked to him. He goes, you know what? I like you and all that, but I'm so busy right now. I have 50 things going on. I have kids going on and this and that, newborn kid, etc., etc., etc. She followed up with him like 4 or 5 months later. He goes, I'm sorry, I'm already an MD at another office. Right? So follow, right? You never know what's going to happen in the follow-up because people all around you, you never know, right? So now you understand the importance of follow-up. Now let me tell you a success story follow-up. This is one of the biggest in the company. One of the biggest builders in the company, her name is Penny Oy, right? She was followed up 7 times, okay? The first time, you know what she said? I'll be there. But then on the day, you guys know BPM, you're waiting like, how come you're not here? Oh, well, you know what? I have something come up, right? Then the second time, I'll be there, right? And then on the phone, right before, you know you're looking for your guests sometimes, right? And you look at your messages, oh, where are they? Oh, sorry, I have a transaction because she's in mortgage, right? I can't make it. Third time, oh, sorry, I can't make it. Oh, I forgot. 4th time, right? Oh my goodness, something came up. 5th time, emergency. 6th time, my dog died, whatever it is, right? So 7th time, like this guy kept on following up with her because he knew that this opportunity was good. She might be good for the opportunity. He didn't follow up with her every day, okay? Not a nuisance. But currently now, she's making about $4.5 million a year. And the person who recruited her passively is making $1 million a year. Without lifting a finger, he's actually retired for like 15, 20 years doing nothing right now. Right? But because he followed up with her, guess what? He still overrides her for his lifetime. Every year he makes $1 million because he followed up with her eight times. How many of you guys gave up on some of your people? Oh, there you go. Because maybe it's not the right timing. So don't bug them out every day, okay? But once in a while, you want to go back, right? I got it. Once in a while, you want to go back and follow up with somebody, right? Fred, you have people that you, right? Everybody has that. David Schuster has that. He's in his interview. He told me, hey, this person I talked to 4 months ago. Finally, they're open. I followed up with like 5 times. Finally, he's open. Cool. Right? So you never know what's going to happen, but you don't want to let it slip through the cracks and someone else pick it up, all the hard work you put into. So number 4, even though it sounds trivial, is actually a huge deal, okay? So always follow up. Questions? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Somehow, some way, this stopped. So I'm like, how come I hear myself?
So did ours.
What happened?
They both stopped.
I think the
Internet?
The internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
see? There you go. Internet. Oh my goodness. It's okay. So, man, they're going to miss my last portion, but it's okay. We'll get it up when we can get it up.
Oh yeah.
So, this darn internet thing, right? Okay, let's see what happens. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Let's see what I can do. Okay, here you go. All right, up and running. So next time I'll just hotspot it. Follow up. Number 5. This is if they come on board, right? So number 5 is the fast start orientation. Fast start orientation. Okay. This specifically are for people who come on board. So if somebody comes on board, you want them to go to orientation so they understand the business more. They understand what we do, right? Without orientation, this is a huge, people don't understand how important this is. Every single person should be fast started within the first 24, 48 hours, right? First few days, so at least they sit down with us so that we can actually share with them. You know, like this is where a lot of people go, I have trouble retaining people, yes? So this is where you build relationship. This is where you get to know them. It's good now? Okay. So this is where, you know, like you actually go through and they understand the business, they understand how we get paid, they understand the enormity of it. This is where it's a make or break for your guys, fast start orientation. So you make sure that you bring you guys to the fast start orientation. And then number 6 is duplication. Duplication, okay? Rinse and repeat. Go all the way back to the beginning. Now, I want to share with you something, right? So I'm going to erase this side so I can share with you something.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Take it. You guys got it?
No.
Okay. You guys got it? Okay. Hurry up. Last chance.
2.
1. Contact. Okay. Just this side, okay? Because I want to share with you how some of these things work. It's pretty cool. After the presentation, if they're actually interested in a product, what I typically do is, number 1 thing that you can do is you can do a PFS or FNA, right? I don't know, like there's so many terms. FLS, PFS, FNA, right? Because before we become client, we actually do the whole financial strategy for them, right? We do a strategy and then they become client, okay? And guess what? If they become client, do we ask for referrals?
Yeah.
Of course. We're a referral-based system. So if you have referrals, what is this? Is it not a name and number? Okay. You start all over again. So with a name and number, what are you going to do with it? You know, call them, you can
Contact.
set an appointment, right? So this is our system. Now, after a presentation, directly from a KTP, or right, can we get a referral directly from that?
Yeah.
Absolutely, why not? So from here, you can also get a referral. What do you do with the what's a referral? A name and number. And then you rinse and repeat. See, people don't know how simple our system is. It's very simple. You can do these things, right, at certain steps. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And again, guess what? Fast start orientation, okay? We also do a PFS, right? So there you go. Fast start orientation, we do a PFS, right? And of course we believe in a product. Actually, they're great products that can help improve our financial situation, right? A lot of ourselves, we become client, right? And we can become client, right? So same thing. Then we always go back to our prospect list and referrals and all that as well, right? So let's say that I want to walk you guys through some of these processes so you can kind of see, you know, how that works. Let's say, for example, you have a brand new person, okay? Let's use Fred, for example, okay? Fred's brand new, and then Fred puts a name and number on the list, right? Maroon, you're on Fred's list, right? So guess what? What are we going to do with Maroon? We're going to
Invite.
Okay, did you ever invite Maroon to a BPM? Did you ever call him when we first started, right?
Yes.
How did you get him to the Brea BPM? What did you have to do?
Invite.
You invited him. What did you do physically? Did you
Call him.
call him or what? Did you email him?
Yeah.
Or call him or what?
I called him.
There you go. You guys heard it? Okay, this is a real life story. Okay? He called Maroon, right? So boom, Maroon and all that. Now, Maroon goes to a presentation. BPM, you sat down with Maroon, right? Awesome guy, sees the vision, came on board. We didn't even have to follow up. We skip it because he's a fast guy, right? So he's like, man, let's go. I'm ready to get started. If he was not ready to get started that day, guess what I do?
Follow up.
Follow up. I say, hey, Maroon, remember we sat down last week? And all? Okay, so follow up. Maroon, we sit down with him with a fast start, explaining the business and all that as well, right? Everything is good. And we duplicate the whole process. We want to help you build your business and all that, right? So duplication goes like this, right? You start over again, right? But Maroon, we also did PFS.
Yes.
We want to improve your finances, right? Like if there's a way we can improve your finance, why not? So Maroon, improve his finance, redo his PFS. Maroon's a client, right? And Fred can earn income from that. That's the exchange principle, right? But guess what? We duplicate, we do the same thing. So now, duplicate. Maroon is where now? Up here.
Yeah.
Maroon, you got names and numbers, yes?
Yes.
We invited a few, yes? Right? So for example, Maroon has Hassan, right? Did you call him? Okay, you invited him to a BPM, yes? And they came on board? Yes? We didn't even need to follow up. Same thing, like some people are very fast, right? So Hassan goes, this is awesome, I'm coming on board tonight, right? So he came on board, we go through fast start, okay? We're gonna duplicate the whole process with him, but in the process, do we do a PFS with Hassan? Absolutely. Does he become a client? And then Maroon's gonna get paid. Is that pretty cool?
Yes.
Right? So Maroon's getting paid now, and then he has more on the list and all that. Of course, we're going to do presentations and clients and all that, but I just want to give you one pathway, right, of how that can work, right? And now he's going to get his first paycheck, right? A lot of people go, how do I get paid? Just follow the system. Go through presentations, go through this, go through invites. You're going to get paid. And once you start getting paid, you're like, oh, that's it? Just do it over and over and over. Rinse and repeat. That's our system, right? So not everyone will go through this pathway of becoming a recruit. Some people from the presentation, they also become a client from the presentation as well, right? So I have plenty of KTPs where we sit down and they're not interested to go down this pathway. You got it? But they're interested to go this pathway. And I have other ones who are interested to go this pathway. Do we still get paid? Absolutely, right? So what if Hassan is not interested in becoming a recruit? That's okay. Because there's other people who are interested in becoming a client, right? Like for example, Ray had a guy, and now it's funny because he wants to be a recruit too, but Ray had a guy, named, not Ray, Fred, right? You help Fred. Fred had a guy named Christian, okay. Is that a name and number? Where did you get the name and number?
At the Kaiser.
He met him at Kaiser. You got him, did you get down his name and number, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay, next. Did you call him ever?
Yeah.
He called him. He invited him to a BPM. BPM, okay. Now he's in the BPM. He comes out. He says, Ray tried to recruit him, right? He's like, no, I don't want to be recruited. But he wants to what? Be client. So guess what? Does Ray do PFS, client, and all?
Yes.
So Ray does his presentations here, right? Ray does presentations here, PFS, and he's going to become a client, right? And then we're going to get referrals to start all over again. But the funny thing is sometimes our clients, they're actually interested on this side too. So going back, some of our clients want to become a recruit down here. That's pretty cool.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Tim Jordan and I were talking about when we're doing prospecting, making cards, like going to Office Max or going to Office Depot and having our own business cards. That we, you know, when we're prospecting, we get names and numbers. People will be able to have a referral base, and then, you know, we'll be able to.
Yeah, be careful. I talked to this with my team too. So first and foremost, if you want to do your own business card, you have to go through compliance. Talk to Andy about it, right? So you got to go through compliance. I made Dave Schuster go through compliance with our assistant, right? So make sure that you get everything compliant approved with the company. Because why build a big business and then company said you're not compliant, they shut you down, right? So go through compliance, okay? That's number one, right? If it's very general, it should be okay. But if you're putting names on there like WFG or World Financial, whatever, if you have like your name on there and your phone number,
that's what we're.
No big deal, right? Like they don't even know what company you are, right? So, but then again, other people will be like, well, there's no name on the company, then what kind of shady business are you? You have no name, right? So I don't know, whatever approach you want to do, right?
Okay.
So that's fine, right? But whatever you want to do, make sure it's compliant and all that. But me, I always go back to the system. Like find a way where you can get names and numbers, go through making contacts and all that. If you feel like flyers and all that will allow you to do that, hey, you can do that. But you know, I think the system is the one that's going to grow your business the fastest.
The reason why is because I've had a lot of people ask me for a card. Like, you can get a business card, blah, blah, blah.
You can get one directly from WFG as well.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right. So that way it's compliant and you're all good and you don't have to worry about advertising. Yes?
I actually did I have my own thing going on where I do friendship farming.
Yep.
Where I am meeting with a bunch of people, you know, I talk to them and they're like, oh, what's your number? Most of us don't, some of us don't have our phone on them. They make personalized business cards with my name, my phone number, address.
And that's it. Yeah, you can do that.
And I made it look classy.
Yep.
My goal base is moms or other women.
No name of companies or anything like down there, right? So.
Yeah. Actually,
that way they don't feel like they're being sold or anything.
Yep.
Right. It's just like, here's my number.
Exactly.
Let's hang out or whatever.
Exactly.
Oh.
So if you have like an elegant, you know, nowadays like a lot of people like minimal, like the artistic one's very minimalism. You see the card is all black and there's like one word in the middle, right? Like that, minimal, right? So you can do like name and number, right? Like I think that's pretty cool. Like make it look all nice.
It worked out for we went out to lunch after full timers, and the lady didn't want to give Tim's number, or didn't want Tim's number, and he wasn't having luck in hers.
Yeah.
So I gave her my card.
There you go. Now here's another thing too. I love that because what do you have to lose, right? The number one thing always is do your best to get their number because it's very difficult for people to call you back. That's why most people, I don't even give business cards. I'm just like, hey, you know what? Let me just get you my phone, right? Because I know prospecting is what? Names and numbers. So if they have my number, but I don't have theirs, is that prospecting?
No.
No, because you didn't accomplish the goal of prospecting. So it's okay. That's the last resort. They weren't going to give you it anyways. So let's just throw it out there and see what happens. You know what I mean?
$7 for 250 business cards.
There you go. It's no big deal. Like it's not a big deal because might as well just throw it out there. But I know that you know because you're more seasoned. But for the new people, I want to let them know that because in their minds they get so excited. They go, oh, here's my card. No, always go. Like I know Tim is very good at that. He's always trying to get their number first. That's just last resort. You guys got it? He's trying to get the phone number first, right? It's not like Tim goes out there like, nice to meet you. Here's my card. Right. Tim is like, let me get your number. Right. Let me get your business card.
She was resisting it.
Exactly. So Tim's a veteran. So, but this message is for the new guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't think that you're going to go out there and pass out a lot of cards. Know that the number one primary purpose is getting their name and number. Right? Tim is very good at prospecting. He's very good at getting names and numbers. But he knows that hey, last resort, they're not going to give me anything. So here's my card. Right. Maybe they're going to give me a call. Right? And that's why he's good at what he's doing. But for new people, they might miss the message. They might think that, oh, I'm going to just go out there and pass out cards. It's not going to work. Number one purpose, get names and numbers. Okay? So please do that. You guys know it all starts with that one. So I don't care if it's a billboard sign. Is that a name and number? Absolutely. Can we make the phone call? Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so don't forget that. Okay? But it's easier with people that you know. Well, one last question. We got to end.
Yeah, I have a situation that I talked to this guy, he's a manager, and he was telling me that they're looking for life insurance.
Okay.
And his wife has a disabled, whatever his phone.
Okay.
And then when I tried to ask his phone number, he told me, sorry, but I don't give out my phone number. So, so what should I do? Every time I go there, he starts talking to me about life insurance.
Good. So you have to tell them, hey, you know what? Like, it's two different stories, right? One, if you're interested, then at least eventually you're going to move forward into doing like a policy with me and helping your client. Do you know that I have to ask way more personal information than your just your cell phone number, right?
Yeah.
So basically, you're telling me just be straightforward. Hey, if you're interested, great. Let's connect and exchange information. If you're not interested, just straight up tell me. Okay? Because what you're telling me right now is you're interested, but you don't want to give out personal information.
I even invited him to BPM. I gave him her office address.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's like going to the doctors and saying, "Doctor, I need surgery, but don't touch me." You know what I mean? Like how are you gonna help him out if he doesn't even give you a phone number? Okay, so be real with them. Be straightforward and say, you know what? I know you're telling me that you're interested in this, but how can we even start if I don't even have your phone number? Right? Like at least, right? Like that we're gonna ask you for more personal information down the line if you're interested in a product. So either you're just lying to me, like saying that you're interested in a product but not really, right? Or you really are interested in a product. Which one is it? Okay, that's the reality, right? Don't you guys agree?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna become, it's just logical. If you're gonna become client, don't you have to like, share your business information, your finances, you're gonna share a lot more information. This is your phone number. Okay. Then you ask them, hey, why don't you want me to share? Like, are you afraid of solicitation? And I'm gonna check. I'm not gonna do that. That's not what we do. We don't pass your information or sell your phone numbers to other companies. Okay. But if you're interested, then this is a starting point. Okay. I need your cell phone. Okay. Because I know I can contact you, but I'm gonna work with the director. I'm gonna work with people, and they can't reach you. They're very busy, so they need to talk to you over the phone for at least a minute or two.
I think some of the scare is that if you go online and you ask for a quote, you're going to get 50 to 100 results.
Correct. So just say we're not that. So that's why find out more information. Hey, are you scared of this, like that? Like you're going to get like all these spam and like no, right? Like you know me, right? So I'm a professional. I don't do that. Okay. So I can assure you that's not going to happen. That's it. Okay. So I know I'm running overtime. Okay, guys. So that's a great question. Okay. I hope that helps all of you guys as well, and I hope this class helps you to know more an overview on the product side, right? What we can do. Hopefully some of you guys come out of this knowing we can do so much more than I knew, right? And then this is more on the system side where, you know what? I just need to go back to the basics. If you follow this, you're going to be very profitable in a business. Okay, I can tell you all the multimillionaires, all the people who run a successful business, they keep it simple and they train their guys this and they just go through this like night and day. Boom, 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 boom. Repeat, rinse and repeat. All the pathways going on all the time. It's a machine all the time, right? But you have to check yourself. How much of this am I doing? How much of this am I doing? Right? How much input am I putting into the machine that generates your business? Maybe that's why you're not generating money.
You gotta oil the wheel.
You gotta oil the well, but you gotta have raw material. You gotta put in raw material in order to have production. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you guys need to go out there and put in raw material. I don't care what it is. The billboard off the side of the street, that is freaking raw material, but you guys didn't know that until today, maybe, right? So collect all those. Work with us in Phone Zone and all that, right? So that's why we do what we do. So be aggressive about putting in more raw material. You guys got it?
Yep.
That's my message for the day.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Wow, what a great lesson, right?
Yes.
Can I get another hand of applause? That's awesome. So with a show of hands, who wants a business like Blockbuster to be product-based?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Like, you want a product-based business, Blanca?
Yes, of course.
Oh, no.
Okay. With a show of hands, who wants a business like WG have no products?
No
Well, that's every hand because they're all here, right?
No products.
Awesome. Can I get 3 volunteers to tell me what you learned today? 3. Just 3.
I'll pick you.
No.
Don't all jump up at once.
All right, Dave, what did you learn today?
I learned about.
Stand up, Dave. I'm in the military.
Yeah.
Well, I learned about product placement, that we don't sell product. We're an avenue of opportunity for 100 different companies to
Exactly.
give people different like securities and annuities.
Yep. Power of choice, right?
Power of choice.
Exactly. We're the Costco. Lucas, what do you learn?
Yeah, I learned.
There we go. See that, Dave?
No.
I learned to follow the system to get recruits and propose.
Oh yeah.
If I,
And is our system hard?
yes, no.
It's simple, right? It's simple. Simple system, just follow steps and repeat. Exactly, right? What do you learn, Stephanie?
I learned that on billboards, name numbers that are cross-referenced.
A what?
You can get, when you get name numbers from billboards, it's cross-referenced.
Yeah, exactly. So there's all kinds of revenues of prospecting, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Just a couple announcements. What's in August? What are we doing?
Convention.
Convention, right? Just show of hands who's registered for convention so far. Who's going to register for convention? Yep, it's a good opportunity. Changes your business. Another announcement is Fast Start School. Do we have one coming up?
Maybe.
We're gonna announce it.
We're going to announce it. It's coming up. Soon to come. Next announcement, the Disney cruise. It's actually been canceled, and there's another contest that everyone can still qualify for. The Laughlin Villa contest. Contest period, there's 2 periods. Either you've already qualified from January 1st to May 26th is the whole period. The trip dates are May 28th to May 31st, so you want to write that down. And here's the agenda. Day 1 is going to be the elite trip. So if you qualify for elite, you can be there for day 1. Day 2, we're going to be on Laughlin River. Day 3, Lake Havasu. And then day 4, we're heading back to LA. Here are the qualifications. So the main trip, for the qualification for the main trip is 3 days, 2 nights. It's from January 1st to May 26th, 15K points, and 3 recruits. And then from April 1st till May 26th, so starting this month, 10K points and 3 recruits. And that's going to get you 1 person, room, and meals, plus the boat ride. All right, who wants to take a significant other? Anyone wants to take someone else with them? Do you want to pay for it, or do you want it for free?
Free.
All right, so this is how you qualify to get 2 people free. It's 25K points and 6 recruits. And that's going to be 2-person room, and the meals, and the boat ride. For the elite trip, so who wants to go there day 1? Who wants to qualify for the elite trip? Anyone? There you go. So 4 days, 3 nights, 40K points, BBC 20, and the reward is a 2-person room and meals, the boat ride, and a $300 Visa card. And then the top 5 of the elite will stay in the villa. So there's going to be a villa. And then some of the details: recruitment points based on leadership bulletin, plus May point based on submission. Need to submit to your SMD by May 26th, Saturday, 11:59 p.m. No trial apps are allowed. Maximum meal reimbursement per person is $150 days, $250 for the 3 days. And that's it. So let's end the day with a power wash. So let's get on our feet. Wait, anything else?
That was great. That's awesome. So we want most of you guys qualify for this trip. Why they did cancel the Disney trip? Because we had the free pay for it because of the cruise, and they want more people to qualify, and the qualification is actually lower and easier. So this way, you guys, all of you guys have hopes. You can still qualify. It's not too late. Start from January to May, right? If you give last push in April and May, you can still qualify. Okay. Now, have we recognized Donald Brown to he stepped up to be a business owner, take ownership. Did you recognize him already? Not yet? Can you do it? Yeah, because it's your team, right? Now Donald he started taking the business seriously, because if you say you own a business, you don't even have an office space here, right? So how can you tell your guests, hey, I have an office where, right? Oh, let me use some of the office, right? So and he take a bigger step to, because when I was part-time here, I shared office with you, right? In Brea, the smaller office. And
we were like senior associate.
Yeah, I'm only senior associate. I haven't made any money yet, well, only a couple $100. But because I want to have ownership so I can spend more time in the office. Now, when you pay something, psychologically, you would say, you know what, I better do something. I'm gonna work. Because $100 plus a couple $100 licensing, E&O is really nothing to lose. So you just, maybe sometimes you say, oh, I don't work, it's okay, I don't make money, it's okay, just come to the class, chit-chatting, like a social networking here, I don't make money, it's okay. But at the end, like after a year, you will say, you know what, this doesn't work, right? So coming to the training, you don't have many appointments, you won't make money here. So I'm pretty sure if you make a decision, he has kids too, he has bills to pay, but he said, you know what, this time I want to take the business seriously. I'm so proud of you, and now before you with the recognition, I just updated the contact list for Laguna Hills office. So these are all the office owner contact info, and if you don't have the office space yet, you need the office to have a one-on-one. So please be respectful. Call. Let's say you want to use that office. Find out who is actually in that office. Call them. They have the schedule on the glass door or whatever. You can see it, right? But still call them, even though it's oh no one's here, no one knows anyway. But because they are properly in the office, so you're gonna call them, hey, can I use your office? Sounds cool. I'm pretty sure they would say yes, but if you start using it very often, you have to think about it. So you want to take an office space, right? Okay. So that's it.
Cool. Yeah. So I mean, you guys want one day on an office like this, right? Like you're gonna be on the lease, you're gonna be the founder. Before you actually take a bigger step to do something like this, you gotta have a small ownership, right, within something like this. So Lama, Lena, and me, when they get started, I remember when I was an associate, I started with my first office, right? I share half office with somebody else, and then that's the time that my business started growing, and some of you guys are a little bit frustrated about your business. Is maybe that's the thing that you really need to actually get you going, because the thing is, if you don't own something, you don't have a business owner mentality. Make sense? And so we're very proud of Donald of stepping up and taking an office space, and then coming up, we have a lot of people actually wanting to go and get an office. And so if you want to actually get an office, big or small, start with plugging in, like a couple $100 a month, and then you're gonna step up your ownership there. Because if you end a month with nothing, then that's not a business. That makes sense? Every business, if you don't do anything, you end with zero, then that's not a business, that's a hobby. Makes sense? Like with a business, every month you need to have some business expense so that you think like more like a business owner.
This hobby costs money.
Yeah.
Right?
So
give it a hand.
Right, let's get
I couldn't have chosen a better business partner to share that with, Tim Jordan.
Yeah.